Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this week's recap of some of the videos that have been presented to you on this channel in the course of the week. So we've curated the 5 videos for this week, and without much ado, I'll present them to you straight away. So we start off in Imo State. So Hope Uzodinma, of course, it still continues to bellyache because, of course, if you are in the possession of something that does not belong to you, your mind is not at ease, and Hope Uzodinma's mind is not at ease, as is explained in this video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, they say call a spade, but apparently not in Imo State. The Supreme Court governor of that state, Hope Uzodinma, does not want to be called the Supreme Court governor anymore. So angered so much is this crybaby that is now throwing his the toys out of the pram and spitting out his dummy. As guys, I bring you this. Uzodinma reportedly expresses anger over being called Supreme Court governor. So I don't really understand where this anger is coming from, because they are only really calling him by his name, his proper appellation, because they like to put appellations in Nigeria. They like to give you a build up to your title. So for instance, now Seyi Makinde, they will refer to him in Oyo State as the elected governor of the state, but you cannot go to Imo State now and refer to Hope Uzodinma as the elected governor of the state, because that will be an inaccurate statement, because nobody elected him. We all know he came number 4 in the election, so it's not anything to do with the Imo people, the Imolites. He's of course an appointee of the Supreme Court. So by his very definition, by his presence in occupation of that space, he is indeed by definition a Supreme Court governor, because the people did not elect him. He was appointed by the Supreme Court. So why is the anger? But again, the headline, Uzodinma reportedly expresses anger over being called Supreme Court governor. So now let's now see how that anger is being expressed. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has called for those continuously labeling him as a Supreme Court governor to be sanctioned by the appropriate authorities. According to a newspaper, Uzodinma, in a petition, asked the National Judicial Council (NJC), the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, and the leadership of the National Assembly to prosecute those calling him Supreme Court governor. So I'm at risk now if I ever visit Imo State. But of course, I mean, look at the weight that is trying to throw behind this. The National Judicial Council, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the leadership of the National Assembly is asking them all to mount their horses and come in charge at people for mocking him. So this is now this you just see now the quality of this person now, and you can see why the people of Imo State rejected him out of hand. This is a person that they are making fun of because he's just a figure of mirth and mockery, and then he's now saying that the whole of the Nigerian state should stand at a standstill, and the weight of the Nigerian state should be borne upon the people that are mocking him. So this just tells you now that the Imo State indigenes understood this guy fully when they rejected him. But let's carry on. Governor Uzodinma of Imo State wants those labeling him as Supreme Court to stop making such comments. The petition asked the authorities to stop Ogbundu Nwadike, the spokesperson of the Imo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), from making such statement. So PDP are making fun of him and is crying to daddy. The governor described the tag Supreme Court governor as a propaganda designed to incite the people of the state to disregard the judiciary. Meanwhile, the immediate past governor of Imo State, Emeka Ehidioha, and his predecessor, Rochas Okorocha, have been indicted for allegedly misappropriating 214 billion naira of local government funds. Just look at the size of that amount, by the way, 214 billion. I hope I didn't say million because it's certainly billion. 214 billion naira of local government funds. It was reported that a probe panel was set up by the Imo State government, led by Governor Back-Uzodinma, to investigate the finances of local government councils. It was gathered that the Auditor General of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs had earlier in the year indicted the same Ehidioha administration of misappropriating 19.3 billion naira, also from local government funds. The report said on Thursday, July the 23rd, whilst submitting the report of the investigating panel to Governor Uzodinma, the chairman, Eze Durua Hioma SAN, disclosed that a whopping 214 billion naira of local government funds were either misappropriated or missing between 2011 and 2019. In another development, the former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, has denied the allegation of forming an alliance with the state's immediate ex-governor Emeka Ehidioha to sack Governor Hope Uzodinma. It was reported that the allegations were leveled against him by the Director General of Imo State APC Media Center, Sejantan Duke. Duke had accused Uche Nwosu, Okorocha's son-in-law, of being responsible for a suit challenging the victory of Governor Uzodinma by claiming to have been validly nominated by the APC as its 2019 governorship candidate. The APC chieftain claimed Nwosu was asking the court to declare the candidate of PDP, Ehidioha, as the governor of the state. However, Okorocha, in his reaction, said the All Progressive Congress APC administration in the state is a house he built at the risk of his political career, stating he would do nothing to bring it down. So a two-sided story, but the real narrative, of course, is this rather laughable, comical guy, Hope Uzodinma, the Supreme Court governor of Imo State, now not wanting to go under his proper appellation anymore, having now been gifted the governorship of the state by the Fulani-led Supreme Court, the Chief Justice Tanko Mohammed. So having been gifted this Imo State seat by Tanko Mohammed, is now wanting to distance himself from the giver of that gift. Conversations in the comment section. The Supreme Court governor of Imo State does not want to be called the Supreme Court governor of Imo State anymore. So what should we call him then? Certainly not the elected governor of Imo State, because he is certainly not that. So whatever you can think of to call Hope Uzodinma, come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me in the comment section. Then we're talking Supreme Court governor. So I'll leave you here. Carry on with you in court in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So next up, we go to the Malami narrative, an evergreen on this channel, especially in the last couple of weeks or so. So Malami, of course, has been exposed, especially by Sahara reporters, on his corruption dealings. And here in this video now, he comes out to defend his name. So watch this video then, and then tell me in the comment section if you believe any of his defense or not. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, nobody is going to buy any explanation that this guy gives until he has his day in court to explain exactly how he has come about this sudden wealth that has suddenly fallen into his laps. Guys, I bring you this. I owned lucrative businesses. Malami writes Buhari after being accused of using public office to acquire wealth and build an empire. So of course is that expose that was done by Omoyele Showore's Sahara reporters detailing all of the things that this guy owns. I am saying he owns because he has not denied owning these things, so that is why I'm not saying allegedly owns, but owns. So he's not denying owning these things, but he's saying that he has an explanation for them. Again, the headline: I owned lucrative businesses. Malami writes Buhari after being accused of using public office to acquire wealth and build an empire. So now let's not get into what explanation he is giving. Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) and Minister of Justice, has reacted to the coalition of civil society organizations CSOS petition to President Buhari to probe him over 14 high-profile corruption cases. The AGF was accused of financial fraud and influence peddling by the CSOs, stated that he needed to write to the president to clear his name before seeking redress in court. So he must seek redress in court because Buhari cannot just sign him off. These are some of the things that people complain the most about this Buhari regime, that is too shadowy, too cloaky, too secretive, is too ready to hide away the sins of a lot of these people, Ganduje, etc. So this guy now being the latest example. So him writing to Buhari and Buhari signing him off is not enough. He must have that day in court, in a public court, to seek redress. So if he's doing that, then see you in court, I suppose, is what his opponents will say. So we carry on. The senior advocate of Nigeria insisted that he had a successful legal practice of more than 20 years and owned lucrative businesses which he earned income from before his appointment in 2015. Malami affirmed that he declared all his assets and statement of accounts upon his assumption of office, and none of them were gotten through fraudulent means. He wrote, "While the Code of Conduct of Public Officers prohibits my active participation in the running of my already established ventures, it does not preclude me from gaining from the fruit of my establishments. Since my appointment as a minister in your cabinet, I have conducted myself strictly within the confines of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers contained in Part 1 of the 5th Schedule of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, as amended. It is to be noted that apart from my successful legal practice of more than 20 years, 7 of which were as a senior advocate of Nigeria (SAN), before my appointment, I have, as allowed by law, had interest in business ventures, all of which I had resigned from active participation upon my appointment. Amongst other things, I owned lucrative business ventures of Rihan Hotels and Rihan Food and Drinks, both in Kano, since December 13, 2013, years before the 2015 election that saw the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari as the president, and long before I was appointed a minister in the first term. That informs why those items were included amongst 27 properties listed in the Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB) form filled by Malami when he was first appointed a minister. Apart from the above as income from the government, Your Excellency is invited to also note that whilst the Code of Conduct Bureau for Public Officers prohibit my active participation in running of my already established ventures, it does not preclude me from gaining from the fruits of my establishment. Hence, Earnings from mainly hotels, restaurants, farms are used to either improve these ventures or to expand and build new ones. In all these, the requirement of the law is that I declare at the point of exit from office as I have declared at the point of entry. On assumption of office in 2015, I had cause as a constitutional requirement to file my asset declaration form at the point of assuming duty as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, detailing my assets, which include my houses, both residential and others, farmlands, hotel, school, and other enterprises. Statements of accounts from all my banks were submitted to the Code of Conduct Bureau, which were duly verified, as is the procedure after submission is made. A copy of the form is attached as Annex 1 should Your Excellency wish to personally review. As a public officer, my sources of income were streamlined and narrowed to my entitlements from the government coffers. These entitlements come in the form of salaries, allowances, and ESTA codes. For the period I have served as a minister for the first term, starting from November 11, 2015 to May 28, 2019, the cumulative figure of what constitutes these entitlements as provided, I have taken a personal decision to seek remedy from the court as a result of the series of derogatory contents so published against me. In the same vein, I have written the Inspector General of Police to investigate the matter. So this is now Malami writing to Malam Buhari. Of course, they always run to daddy. This is what happens. Back-Uzodinma is asking the Senate to go and be arresting people, calling him Supreme Court governor. And this one is now writing to Buhari to say that all the money that he stole, he did not actually steal them. They just fell into his pockets in the way that they fell into Ganduje's pocket. So this is what we see within this now structure. So his wealth has suddenly now grown 1,000-fold since he became the minister of justice, and he is now having you have it be the case that this 1,000-fold growth in his wealth is as a result of his business reinvesting in itself and growing organically. So now all of these are houses that is just building back to back to back to back to back to back, and all these hotels that is just building back to back to back to back to back, all of which has suddenly saw something that has sprung up from 2015 till now, is now the result of his lucrative businesses, according to himself, and the fact that he's a son. Well, Femi Falana is a son and is not building hotels and estates all over the country. There are several sons. Mike Ozokome, I hope I pronounced that right. He is a son. He's not building mansions and hotels all over the country, but this son, of course, just happens to be the Minister of Justice, and that is the deciding factor that turns him from a comfortable man to a dollar billionaire. So dollar billionaire and the life of an Arab prince is how this guy is living and what is trying to justify to Malam Buhari. Malam Buhari, of course, is slow of wit and he will accept anything, especially coming from his own people. So we are not expecting much as a result of this letter that's been written to Malam Buhari. But we are hopeful that he does take this case to court as he has stated, so that he can then be interrogated by the law to explain how he has suddenly become a lottery winner since he became minister in 2015. Conversations in the comment section, the guy is trying to be smart by half, but how smart is half is really where the question is. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me then in the comment section and let me know then what you're making of this feeble excuse by this fella. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So next we're going to Kano State and we're visiting the former emir. The emir of Kano, Muscles-Sanusi, has of course been deposed. That is not news to anybody anymore. He now lives in Lagos, but that also will not be the case for much longer. Emir Sanusi has been granted a place at Oxford University for study, and that is all detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I had always thought that they would have been better off putting him in prison than sending him to Nasarawa State, because Emir Sanusi, of course, needs the rigor of intellectual debate to sustain his being. So I was one of the people who applauded then when he won that court case that stopped the Kano state government from sending him to Nasarawa, and he ended up in Lagos. Of course, Lagos being the hub of intellectualism in Nigeria. Guys, I bring you this. Muhammadu Sanusi offered fellowship program at Oxford University. So this guy, of course, is a very lost acquirer of knowledge and is an insatiable lover of wisdom. So of course is going to Oxford to even expand more on his intellectual base. So the headline again: Muhammadu Sanusi offered fellowship program at Oxford. So now let's now see what this is all about. Muhammadu Sanusi dethroned Emir of Kano State. So that is actually factually wrong. It's not the dethroned Emir of Kano State, but the dethroned Emir of Kano Kingdom, because Kano Kingdom predates Kano State, and Kano Kingdom, the emirate in Kano, it expands beyond the borders of Kano State. So it's actually the deposed Emir of Kano Kingdom, not Kano State. So we take that from the top again. Muhammadu Sanusi, dethroned Emir of Kano State, has gone back to school after the former monarch was offered a fellowship program at Oxford University. The development was announced by the University Management Committee of African Studies after the former emir's request was granted. Sanusi will resume in the center in October for the 2020-2021 academic year and use the period to write a book based on his experience as a banker, public analyst, economy expert, and former Central Bank of Nigeria governor. But of course, we want a book on his experiences as the Emir of Kano as well. It continues. According to Oxford University, Sanusi, who served as the CBN governor from 2009 to 2014, intends to use the period of his affiliation to write a book around the theme Central Bank Response to Global Financial Crisis, a case study of the Central Bank of Nigeria 2009 to 2013. Oxford University's African Studies Center is one of the world's leading centers of African studies. A renowned economist and vocal intellectual, Sanusi was deposed as the Saki Kano by the Governor Abdullahi Ganduje-led government over alleged insubordination and abuse of office. He has since relocated his home to Lagos State after a court ruled his banishment to Nasarawa State was illegal. Meanwhile, Governor Nasir El-Rufai said the deposed Emir of Kano has accepted appointment offered him by the Kaduna State government. Sanusi's acceptance of the appointment was contained in a statement signed by Muyiwa Adekeye, who is the media aide to Governor El-Rufai, on Wednesday, March the 11th. Governor El-Rufai expressed gratitude to the former emir for continuing support and assist the realization of the governance objectives of Kaduna State. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but that is how this is rounded off. But the main thrust of it, of course, is that Eze goes to school and the Emir goes to Oxford University. So a very lost acquirer of knowledge I described Sanusi as. He has always been that, of course. I'm only taking the descriptives from the template of his being. This is how he has lived his life. He's always a man of letters and a man of the books. So a man of letters and a man of the books, and he was only ever going to end up in one place, and that place is either Cambridge or more notedly Oxford, where he has ended up in. So Eze goes to school, the emir goes back to uni to acquire more knowledge. What says you come share thoughts? The emir will be carrying school bags on the streets of Oxford. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all three, come into the comment section, then come tell me what you're making of this emir turned schoolboy as the life and times of Sanusi II continues to evolve. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So next we are going to the Aso Rock Villa itself, and we're speaking to the kitchen cabinet. You remember, of course, that Malam Buhari said his wife belongs in the other room, but the wife apparently does not belong in the other room anymore. She now belongs in Dubai, where she is. So why is she in Dubai? They told us that she had a neck pain, but apparently it's to do with the daughter's wedding. So that's all detailed in this next video, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, the laws in Nigeria are only meant for the poor. There's absolutely no doubt about that, and it is something that you all know. So you see a big man in Nigeria driving down the wrong side of the road, sirens blaring, and it is you now driving on the right side of the road that is stopped and molested for obstructing him from driving down the wrong side of the road. We saw the Abakari funeral, where all ideas of social distancing was jettisoned because, of course, big man. We saw the Malami wedding, where social distancing was jettisoned, and this is more egregious because Malami, of course, is the Attorney General of the Federation, but social distancing, of course, was jettisoned there, and of course the Naira was abused as well, because spraying of the Naira is actually against the law. You are not allowed to abuse the Naira note, and we also saw how they just abused that currency with glee. So with that setting the tone, guys, I bring you this. President Buhari's daughter, Hanan, said to wed Fashola's aide, Mohammed Turad. So Mohammed Turad is the name of the chap that is now going to be the next billionaire that we're going to have to familiarize ourselves with within the Nigerian space. But that is not the story. The story also is not that Hanan Buhari is now looking to get married, but we will get into the actual story as we carry on. But again, the headline, Buhari's daughter Hanan set to wed Fashola's aide, Mohammed Turad. So now let's now see how this wedding is being described. Hanan Buhari, one of the daughters of President Muhammadu Buhari, is said to marry. According to information gleaned, Hanan's soon-to-be husband is Mohammed Turad, a special advisor to former Lagos State Governor and current Minister of Works, Babatunde Fashola. Their wedding is scheduled to hold on September the 4th, 2020. Turad is said to be the son of a former lawmaker, Alhaji Mahmood Sani Shaban, who represented Zaria in the House of Representatives from May 2003 to May 2007. Shaban is also a former governorship candidate in Kaduna State under the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria. Hanan is a graduate of photography from Ravenbourne University in England. So now that story in itself is inoffensive. Boy meets girl is a story that repeats endlessly every single day. And so yes, you say good luck to the happy couple under normal circumstances, but then of course these are not circumstances that are normal. So I would like to link this story to a video that I did a couple of days ago. At least two videos really. I'm going to sequence them. The first video was a video of Mrs. Buhari, Aisha Buhari, announcing that she had like a neck pain and she was going to Dubai for treatment. So that was the story that broke, and we all made mockery of that if you had a neck pain, then you would ask your husband or wife to come and rub your neck. You don't fly to Dubai at the expense of the Niger Delta wealth. So we made fun of that. And quickly after the story then broke, it was then leaked that Aisha Buhari was not actually in Dubai for neck pain, because of course their doctors are not in Dubai. Their doctors are in London, not even in Nigeria. These people have always had their treatments in London at the expense of the Niger Delta wealth. So their doctors are not in Dubai, but the real reason why Aisha Buhari, according to what was leaked, the real reason why Aisha Buhari is in Dubai is to shop for her daughter Hanan's wedding. So of course the checkbook from the central bank is now in Dubai, being wasted as per usual. So that is that. But the real underpin is that there's a restriction on traveling in Nigeria, because of course of the global pandemic. This is why I'm saying now, or this is why I said rather from the onstart, that the laws in Nigeria only apply to the everyday person and not to the people who consider themselves to be the elite. So the laws in Nigeria at the moment, the policy position is for no travel, except of course for extreme essential travels. But then of course the laws don't apply to Aisha Buhari. So she's now come up with this sick note from her doctor to say that she's feeling a bit of a twitch in her neck. And of course, when you feel a twitch in your neck, the next thing to do is to commandeer the national fleet of the Nigerian state to fly you all the way to Dubai, because then you need your necks rubbed by the doctors in Dubai. So this was what she said. But the real reason, of course, is that she's gone to shop for her daughter's wedding. So this is now, because that leak came out, and then suddenly this story has now come out that she's now due to marry on the 4th. And this Hanan, by the way, is a very lost troublemaker. She's the one that would be using the national fleet as taxi service, because she wants to go and take photographs of some Doba of his own people, the Fulani people. She would then take the presidential plane to fly to wherever, I think it was in Bauchi that she went to fly to Bauchi State to go and do photography. This is her own personal thing, her school project. So they're using the Nigerian National Fleet to do school project for this girl. This is so they just see the whole system as a lottery win. They just it's like a winner takes all, the sort of mentality that these people have. So we're now in this different situation. And also on that Anan Buhari, just before I move on, also on that Anan Buhari, you recall the Antonio Okolie case, where some guy was given a number that happened to be by MTN. By the way, he was given the number by MTN, but the number happened to be Hanan's number that she abandoned a long time ago, and that guy was then detained. We don't know if it's on the instructions of Hanan, but a lot of people are of that thought. So now, fast forward now to this present situation. Now the country is on lockdown, and you remember also, so I keep jumping from point to point because all of these points have to be detailed. So you remember also that Abba Kyari did something similar when he came back from Egypt and Germany at the peak of that pandemic situation, and he refused to quarantine himself, or quarantine. I don't know, different people pronounce it differently. So he refused to quarantine himself, but just went through, and he went to the presidential villa, and we all know what happened to Abba Kyari. And a lot of people are now dropping like flies now, by the way, and a lot of people are attributing it to that Abba Kyari trip, because he came back and was glad handing everybody of importance within the Nigerian space without observing policy, because again, of course, the laws in Nigeria are not for people like him, but for the everyday person like yourself and myself. And we also what happened to him, and you cannot pick up a newspaper now without hearing of another narrative of somebody else that has been taken by the pandemic. So another flouting of the rules and regulations of the country now, with Aisha Buhari flying to Dubai to shop for her daughter's wedding. Conversations in the comment section, one rule for them and a different set of rules for us. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then come tell me now what you're making of this double standard that is the Nigerian system. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation up with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So finally, we're rounding it off at Ife and we're visiting the Oni. So the Oni of Ife has apparently been abusing his position and using the DSS as his personal agent to settle gripes that he has with people. So now this is all detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, if you ever publish a newspaper in Nigeria with the headline "Big Man Abuses His Position," that newspaper will not sell a single copy because that is not news in Nigeria. Guys, I bring you this. Ooni of Ife admits reporting tricycle rider to DSS over text message, alleged impersonation. So the Ooni of Ife now, of course, this is a guy, by the way, that I've always been dubious about. There's something of the night about this fella, and that thing of the night about him is now coming out in the public space. Again, the headline: Ooni of Ife admits reporting tricycle rider to DSS over text message, alleged impersonation. So now let's now find out exactly why the king reported the pauper. The Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwese, has admitted reporting a tricycle rider named Lawal Moshood to the Department of State Services after his mobile phone was allegedly used to send a text message to the monarch. Olawale Bakare, widely known as Mandate, who was one of the recently arrested and detained Revolution Now protesters in Osogbo, released last weekend, said that the DSS operatives did not see the SIM said to have been used to send the message to the monarch, yet arrested and kept him in unlawful detention since that period. He said the young man had been denied access to a lawyer or his family members since he was picked up from Ijebu-Ode by the secret police, confirming knowledge of the young man's ordeal, even though trying to distance himself from it. Oba Ogunwese, through his Director of Media and Public Affairs, Comrade Moses Olafare, said that Moshood was arrested for impersonating the Ife monarch. A statement by Olafare on Tuesday said, "You will notice that some women and ladies have been defrauded by some people claiming to be the Oni, promising their victims marriage. There was even a recent case of a woman who sold her properties in the United States of America based on an online scammer who impersonated the Oni, promising to marry the woman." The only thing Ooni can do is to make an official report to the security agents who are constitutionally empowered to initiate investigations where the need arises. Findings revealed that after thorough scrutiny of the mobile phone of Moshood, who lives in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, the DSS was yet to find anything incriminating to tie him to the said offense. Already some civil society groups and human rights campaigners have called for the immediate release of Moshood by the secret police. It is not the first time that high-profile Nigerians will be using the DSS to intimidate ordinary citizens over claims of impersonation through various guises. For instance, in July 2019, Hanan, daughter of President Muhammadu Buhari, used her position to get the DSS to arrest a young businessman based in Delta State for using a mobile number previously used and abandoned by her. So we have covered this story plentifully, this Hanan Buhari story. The man named Antonio Collier was issued the mobile number by telecoms firm MTN when he visited one of their outlets in Asaba, the state capital, to purchase an SIM. Accused of using the mobile number to defraud unsuspecting members of the public by pretending to be Hanan, Okolie was kept in unlawful detention for 10 weeks until he was finally released by the secret police. 3 months after, a court in Delta State ordered the DSS and all parties involved to pay the victims 10 million naira as compensation for violation of his rights. The agency has refused to do so. So, of course, the agency has refused to do so, is how this thing should end, because that is, of course, how everything ends in Nigeria. These people abuse power with impunity because, of course, who is going to stop the big man in Nigeria? The big man controls all of the policies and all of the state apparatus within the Nigerian space, and when he says pick him up, then it's really the begging of your family and the prayers of your family that can get you out of it, because until that big man says release him, there's nothing that releases you from the detention of the authorities, because the big man is the law in Nigeria as we now see. So this now, let's just unpick this particular case for a moment. So this guy now has been picked up on the orders of the Ooni of Ife. This is what is being alleged, but the Ooni of Ife is now saying that this guy has been sending text messages trying to impersonate the Ooni, and he has reported it to the authorities. Then it is then down to the authorities to do their job. So that is where his influence ends, or that is where his involvement, should I say, ends. So he has identified this as an anomaly. He has reported it to the police, to the security agencies, to say, look, this person has been going around trying to impersonate me, so you go and do your job. So the security agencies have now picked this guy up and they have now detained him. So what the Ooni is now saying is that, look, the security agencies picking him up and detaining him is nothing to do with me. What I am duty bound to do is what duty binds me to do, and as I have done. So what the Ooni is saying in effect is that, look, I have identified a crime being committed, the suspicions of a crime being committed, and I have reported it to the appropriate authorities. What then happens after that is not within my influence, because of course it is left to the police then to investigate this guy and detain and prosecute him or release him if he's found innocent, because I have identified this suspicion and I have presented it. But that, of course, is the get out clause of all the big men in Nigeria. They'll say, okay, I identified the crime and I said this is the guy, and the rest is down to the police. But I can bet you my bottom dollar or your bottom dollar, whoever's bottom dollar, I can bet you any amount of money that this guy, if the Ooni says release him, they will release him. And if the Ooni says don't release him, no matter who or what says this guy is innocent, they will not release him. The only thing that can now release this guy is the glare of publicity, because this is the one thing that the Nigerian big man fears the most, the fear of exposure. It is always the publicity that rescues the Nigerian from the clutches of the Nigerian authorities. So now that this thing has been flashed up, because that was what rescued, by the way, that Anthony Okolie too. He was detained and detained until Omoyele Sowore flashed it up from Abuja to say, look, this guy is in the cell with me, and this is his story, and this is what got this guy released. And it is mandate now that is flashing this guy up, and all of the media spaces are now picking it up to make a big deal out of it. And as soon as they shine the searchlight on this sort of thing, they will immediately, you will see within the next week or so, they will release the guy, and we'll see him now in the papers telling his own story. But the abuse of position and something of the knife about this Ooni of Ife is really what I am looking to flash up in this particular video. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then click on the like button as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come into the comment section. Then let's have a conversation around the Nigerian big manism and how it impacts on the everyday Nigerian. So I will leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. So those are the 5 videos for this week. I hope you enjoyed them. So now come into the comment section, come engage with me regarding what you've heard on the videos, the ones you've liked, your opinions on the storylines, etc. So anything you'd like to discuss, conversations take place in the comment section on this channel. But before you come to the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Click on the bell button as well. That notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come into the comment section, then come tell me what you're making of this the week's glossary magazine is how we're terminating. So come tell me what you're making of these selections that I've presented to you for this week. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.